Alright, YouTube. So it's been a while since I've done a video, and a lot of things have happened. My other phone broke. I had some videos on it I had done while I was filming some things. It broke and I lost them. I've been doing a lot of work on the truck here, and had vacation, and I didn't have time to do videos. So I've had a lot going on. So I'm just going to kind of explain where I'm at. As you can see, the truck is back together. I did rebuild the turbo, bought me a new air filter on there. I gutted out my factory heater grid there and just kind of did my own delete. So I basically just gutted the guts out, put all the bolts and everything back in, tightened everything down really good. Got the killer dowel pin down there, new main seal in it. The biggest thing was my new Flexolite fan and my new 3-flue aluminum radiator, which fit in here pretty much like perfect. The Flexolite fan bolted right up. It is a little snug, but it bolted right on up, and I did like the fact that it retained my factory tanks on it. I'm having some power steering pump problems. I rebuilt mine. I rebuilt the vacuum pump. Just went on vacation. Drove about 700 miles round trip, and on the way there, which was roughly around about 300 or so, it wasn't working. Power brakes, nothing like that. So I bought a new pump, remanufactured one, slapped it on there. It's worked off and on. I believe I still got some air in the lines. I just got back off vacation, so I believe I still got some air in the lines. I'm gonna hopefully maybe try to bleed that out tonight. I'm gonna hopefully try to. Got my new air condenser on there, dryer back there, compressor. Not the whole compressor, but just the you know what I'm talking about. Shh, my mind's going blank. I got so much rambling through it right now. I did delete the heater grid. It's pretty tight, but I did delete the heater grid down there for the transmission. Not heater grid, but your transfer, heat transfer to the transmission, that little tank. I wasn't having no problems, but I deleted it. I want to do an external cooler, a new one instead of the factory one, and do some 8AN lines and everything on it. But I kind of ran out of some funds, and I kind of ran out of time, a little bit of both. I've spent so much in it here lately in the last month and a half. Just kind of threw it together the best I could to get it on the road, because I did take this on my trip to the mountains. I put a new radiator hose on the bottom, didn't do the top. There was nothing wrong with it. I just did it for now. I did try to clean my wires up the best I could, because this box comes out the top there. I did like it because you can wire this into your AC for it to cut on. It also has a place to wire your switch into it. And then it's got your temperature probe that wires into it. And I believe one or two other switches actually. So there you go, a little bit better there. You can kind of see all the wires coming out of it. But I tried to keep it as clean as possible. These were already mounted on there. The ones I mounted plug in here. And I try to put some heat shrink on there. One of them's for my switch. And then one of them is for your kind of main power. It's the power where you turn your ignition switch on, it powers it up. I can't remember what you call it right now. And then I have my main lines run over here. It does come with a little solenoid kind of thing there. I don't remember what they called it. So I've got it mounted right down there to wire into my batteries for the main power. I like it. I've seen some other videos, and you probably can look them up on YouTube's, where the fans, when you cut the motor off, they actually still run for about 6 to 10 seconds, something like that. It keeps it cool. I don't really pull a big load. Just sitting around the yard idling, I mean, it idled for a good 15 minutes and never got hot, never came on. Driving it down the highway, you know, overall, it stays fairly cool. I got a 180 thermostat, and it stayed around 180. Now, there was times that I got down on it or was pulling real hard on some of those mountains, going up it, and with the bigger injectors and stuff loading up, it still might have got 190 or so. But it wasn't hot, and then you could see when the thermostat or the fans was kicking on because it would drop down for me again. So I had no issues with that at all. I don't even really see pulling it getting that hot. I mean, 190's cool. I mean, that's not hot for these trucks. I mean, again, and most of the time it's running 180. So, you know, towing, it may get a little hotter, but I don't really see it overheating. So if you don't do no big towing or anything, I would definitely recommend this. Was great. Lost all that fan, that weight off the motor, that sound. I mean, that fan assembly is pretty darn heavy. If you got to replace a bearing, unless you're going to go a cheap route with about a $55 bearing, I mean, the factory ones are like $200 for the bearing. I mean, dude, I'd rather put $200 into this. So I've been happy with it. Bumper brackets. You see, I do got my 4th gen conversion bumper brackets. I do have my 4th gen bumper. Little tidbit with that though is I bought a brand new one. Couldn't find a used one at the time around here. I've seen them all over the place until I get ready to buy one. Little tidbit with that. It takes brackets on it. So maybe I'm the only one out there that doesn't know that, but I bought these brackets to bolt up to the bumper, to come to find out that there's bumper brackets on the bumper itself that you need to bolt these to. I did buy the factory fog lights, got some smoked ones. The ones I bought were off of Amazon, I believe, and it's something Fisher. They come with a little wiring harness and stuff. It was pretty neat. I thought it was just going to be lights, but it actually comes with a wiring harness and a pigtail, and looks like maybe a little solenoid with it. I was really impressed, but they're fog. They even have the light bulbs in it and everything. I wanted to go with just the factory lights. I don't want none of that flashy, those pods. I mean, everybody's doing pods. I didn't want pods. I just wanted something I can go to the store and buy a bulb for it if it blows, you know. Different strokes, different folks. That's me. That's what I wanted. I just clean and simple. I like it. So, that's what I did. I went ahead and mounted them on there, though, because I was going on my trip and didn't have a bumper. And I did sell my bumpers, by the way. Did sell them. So before I get into my real story, let me show you my other little thing on my trip. So, was on my trip and I got involved in a hit and run. Going down the road, actually. So I was going to get ready to paint this thing sometime here in the future. So it might be sooner now because I was lucky my brother-in-law and sister-in-law were in front of me. They saw the dude hit me. He actually got in behind me and rammed me in my new roll pan that I had just put on. So you can see he knocked the paint and stuff off. You know, he smashed all this in. You can see the paint off of his vehicle right there. He hit me in the side on a 4-lane highway, then proceeded to get in behind me and run into the back of me. I don't know if he's on drugs, drinking, what. But you can see that's a nasty hit going down a 4-lane highway at 65. This big of a truck next to a Chevy S10, and for you to run into the side of me that hard and smash that in, it was intentional. I don't know what he got out of it because it had to do some damage to his vehicle for sure. So I'm more than likely going to need a bed because you can see all this is, you know, you can see how hard it warped all this up. My bed, my tailgate actually doesn't line up. It's hard to see, but this is bowed. It knocked the rods loose in here. I had to take some of my stuff apart and get some help to pry up on one side and pop it open. It dented it in on this side also too. You can see it's messed up there. It's not round like it should be. It's not horrible, but it is dented up. The main thing is that side. So you can do a whole side bed replacement. They're like $500 and stuff. I don't know. I'm waiting to hear from the insurance company, but we got a tag number and stuff and know who the guy is, and he's got insurance. So hopefully I'm gonna get this sucker fixed because, you know, I've owned this truck for 14 years and it's never been beat up. Never. A few little dings and dents, you know, here and there, little whatnot rock things and stuff, but nothing major. This is the first major thing that's really ever happened to her, and I want it fixed. Now, the main thing that some people probably want to know, my lock-in hub conversion. So, here she is. I did get her done. Took some time, took some work. Because I have an 02 and not the 99 Downs, it was a little different on the front end. I bought these mile marker hubs here. I like these. They're stainless steel. I like the stainless steel chrome kind of look. What I do plan on doing, because these are the factory lug nuts, of getting some black acorns and put on it. I just haven't ordered them yet. I want to measure it and stuff. Again, I literally got this thing going Wednesday and drove it Thursday morning, left out at 7 a.m. and went on vacation, literally. It had been apart for a good 2 months. Yeah, had a few hiccups, blew a transmission line out, actually a brand new transmission line, blew it out about an hour and a half into the trip, had to fix that. The AC fuse blew a couple times, put a couple of them in and it's quit blowing them. So I don't know. But what you want to know, let me get on, is this baby here. What did I do to make it work? Well, it ain't 100% like I want it still, but it works and it's safe. But what did I do? So for the 2000 ups to 02 anyway, I can't speak for the AIM axles, that's what I call them, the AMMs or whatever it is. I used my factory Dodge 2500 front rotor, caliper, brake pads. Used Ford 92 to 97 Dana 50 hubs and spindles. Should be the same as a Dana 60. And I used Dana 60 outer axles from a Ford. From a Ford now, 11.5 inches. But you're going to run into some spacing problems. And basically what happens is the rotor doesn't sit in the caliper just right. So to fix that problem, I ordered a 1/4 inch spacer and put in between that rotor and the hub itself, where the hub mates to the rotor. I bought longer wheel studs and a different kind. They basically come off the F450s, the F350s, the Vans. It looks like the Vans, if I remember right. They were the biggest gnarl that I could find at the time anyway from O'Reilly's, which is 0.67 gnarl. So what happens with that is it will run through the bolt holes on this factory Dodge Dana rotor and catch for me to put the wheel on it. So you can tighten your lug nuts, because the factory lug nuts actually go through that rotor and is made to catch on the hub itself, the Ford style ones. So I had to figure that out. So I got those. O'Reilly's is like the cheapest place. I priced eBay. By the time you do shipping and whatever else, what they mark them up to, I checked Napa, Advance, all of them. $2.99 at O'Reilly's. $2.99. They didn't have enough in stock. I called them up, told them what I needed, and dude had them by midday that day from me calling him 8 in the morning. So that's what I got on there. I put it back together. I still had some spacing issues. Not quite enough space. So what I done, if it's hard for you to see, but if you look right up in there above that universal joint, you see that little chrome spot, and look down there below the knuckle on the far end right here. Those are washers. I'd already bought them, trying to space this thing out, mock it up before. So basically what I had to do was add a washer to the caliper bolts to basically put it in this way. Not bring it closer to the truck, but away from the truck. And I also added a washer to each lug nut in that spacer. I don't like it that way, don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to give y'all an update. It's been a while, and tell you what I did. And it does work. The brake pads went all the way on and fit. I believe that I can order some 1/2-inch spacers. I haven't tried it or nothing, measured it, but I believe 1/2-inch spacers would fit in between the hub in here and line everything back up perfect, and you can get rid of those washers on the caliper in that. Now, do I feel anything's unsafe about it? No. I mean, everything's tightened down completely and nothing but that little washer and stuff. You got 8 lug nuts. Bought longer ones, and you can still see how far they stick out. I drove it, like I said, about 800. I've put about 1,000 miles on it since last Thursday to this Wednesday here when I'm filming it. And everything seems fine. If you got questions about what I did, I'm a little unclear or something, whatever. If you got questions about it, I'm more than happy to answer. I've done a lot of research online, and people were doing them on the 96s, 97s, 98s. I kind of wasn't thinking that the calipers and brakes changed on this year truck. So the rotors and stuff changed. So it wasn't a quite just slap bolt on, but that's what I've done to make it work, and it works. That's about it for this video. I've got a little wrenching to do on it today. Like I said, I'm gonna try to bleed that power steering pump on out so I can get some brakes and power steering. I mean, you can obviously drive it still, but it is a pain to pull around in the parking lot and stuff. I really need a new rotor on that side. Really need a new. That was a used one. Kind of getting it together. That's about all I can see for now. Let me point out one other thing that I've done, just because it's good info. I bought this aftermarket kit off of Amazon to replace your track bar. And it's got your hem joints up here, adjustable, this bracket. Well, I don't know if I'm the only one or not, but I've done broke this bracket a couple times. It's breaking up here. You can see where it's been welded in here. It looked really nice made and stuff, but all the pressure is here and over here where it bolts. So it broke both of these. So I had it welded. This one I had a plate put in. Well, it broke this one again. And when I was doing all this, I saw it broke. So I pulled it all back off. Got another piece of 1/4-inch thick steel, I guess, put up in there. And I don't know if we can see it, but bolted and welded all up in there. It seems to be holding for now. You know, I double my nuts up and stuff because some of that stuff comes loose. I think what I'm going to do is take a plate and come up here and tie into this bracket here. You know, this is your main frame, and then this is a bracket for your shock tower and stuff. I think I'm going to tie into that and kind of weld it into that. And I don't want to drill it and bolt it and everything else. I don't think I want to do that, but maybe help brace this up a little bit. But so far it seems pretty good. You can see my axles in here, new U-joints, ball joints. I mean, got them off of eBay from a company. I'm fairly new to YouTube, and I'm using my phone, and I'm gonna try to maybe put some links. I'm gonna try to, but definitely if anybody sees anything that I've done or bought and want to know where I got it from, you know, how much does it cost, how does it work, you know, feel free to ask, and I usually try to get back to people pretty quick. And give you your answers. I wish I had you know, I'm on a budget. I wish I had a tripod and I could put my stuff up and film it better while I'm doing it and edit it and all that, but I'm just not all into that yet, and don't know if I ever be. A lot of this is just hopefully pass along some information, but it's information, and I'm just kind of recording stuff that I've done. So hopefully it'll help somebody, but you know, I'm always up to answering questions, you know, so definitely feel free to pop me one. And you know, I haven't ever really asked or said it, but you know, if y'all find my videos interesting, you know, please subscribe, you know, let me know that somebody's getting some interest out of it, and I'll definitely, you know, try to make more and record more of my build here on this truck, and you know, maybe like I say, just see how it goes, and maybe I'll try to get better at it and do some editing and things like that. But for now, I'm just plain Jane simple, you know, just it's out there, video it and put it out there, you know. So I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching.